The UK Prime Minister, Richie Sunak, and the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, have had a love child. OK, brain fart if you like. Well, they want to add construction workers to the UK shortage occupation list. You know, for their damp squib of a visa scheme. I'll tell you now, it ain't gonna work. I very much doubt anybody is going to be travelling to the United Kingdom to work on building sites, etc. Or even as jobbing builders. Well, no, ain't going to work with visa schemes. Because you've got to have sponsors, you see. No, they ain't going to come. It just ain't going to work. You might get an odd one or two, but crikey. Now, most people working in construction, whether it be in the EU, what have you, Germany, for instance, France, what have you, well, they're not going to travel to the UK for less money. No. Because most people working in those sectors are self-employed. Subcontractors. They earn good flipping money. They're not going to give that up to work in the UK under a sponsor, an employer, for less money. Employers generally pay less money. OK, you might get holiday pay, but will they? No. And also, they're going to be paid at least 80% less, or 80% less than what the actual going rate is. And that is set by the government. You're not going to attract anybody. They ain't gonna come. Especially in the construction industry, because we can earn good money. Now, I'll be on the tools most of my life. OK, I'm sort of like, I do this now. But, you know, whether it be laying bricks on a building site, or putting on a cut roof, or even, doing first and second fix electrics. I'm head in a consumer unit, 17th edition, or whatever it might be. Done it all my life. You know, been in and out of college and doing all this stuff. I don't do it for nothing. No, I didn't do it to earn a tiny wage. I did it so I could, Well, actually, the reason I did it is because I employed people, and as far as I was concerned, is if I've got to tell people what to do, I need to know myself. So, this is just nuts. Anyway, I've got an article here that happened to be in The Guardian. I like The Guardian. It's not a bad paper, really. It's not too bad. Sometimes a bit shitty, but most of the time it's quite good. Anyway, I'll leave a link in the description down below. So, UK relaxes visa rules for foreign builders amid Brexit shortages. Now, obviously, this isn't just for the European Union workers to come to the UK. It could be further afield, people from, African countries, what have you. Anywhere, in fact. As long as you can lay bricks, for instance. Now, that's another problem. Not all countries lay bricks. No. Some countries have stick buildings, as in, wooden buildings. Some countries have block buildings. Don't necessarily... face bricks? No. Flintwork, for instance. Do they do that? I don't know. These are skills. We learn over a long period of trade for, and hand on the tools, what have you. And it's life skills. It becomes muscle memory. You're laying out your old steak and mortar in your bed and what have you. And you're cutting off the mortar outside the bricks, you're tapping them down, what have you. Don't hit your level. No. Well, it's kind of what you do, you not hit level, but you just learn this stuff over a period of time. Now, when I came out I did my MVQ 3 with my bricklaying, and I did drainage and scaffolding and stuff. But anyway, when I finished that, I wasn't going to say, crikey, I'm qualified now, I do anything. No, you got to get on the tools. You learn it over a period of time. Some of the best people I worked for never even worked with, never even went to college. Or university, college, vocational work, college work, NVQ, National Vocational Qualification. So anyway, bricklayers, plasterers and other construction jobs have been added to the government's shortage occupation list, making it easier for foreign builders to come to Britain amid labour shortages, partly caused because Brexit. Oh, I need a drink. Blimey, I hate Brexit. It's shit. Blimey. Anyway, Brexit has cut off hard-working people from the EU to come and work as subcontractors in the United Kingdom. Because the likelihood is they're not going to be working as subcontractors in the United Kingdom. They're going to be employed, which means they're not going to come. Not if they're earning good money in the first place. Now, you might get somebody, I don't know, from an African country, for instance, who make mud huts. Build mud huts. I don't know, for goodness sake. Or from Japan and make tissue paper houses. So, can you see where I'm coming from here? Construction in the United Kingdom is not the same as every single country in the world. And the likely countries that might think, okay, that's not a bad wage, we'll come over and do that job. Don't mean to say they're qualified to do it. No. Some morons, Tory morons, one on here I was reading earlier, Sir John Hayes, Brexiter. That's what he is. Flipping Brexit. He ain't got a flipping clue what he's talking about. He's an idiot. An absolute flipping idiot. Anyway, he suggests that we should be training our own. Now, we've got a bit of a problem in the UK because we don't have enough people, because we're not making them anymore. No, we're near enough people. We need the people in the United Kingdom. I'll tell you where we could get them from. I wonder. Asylum seekers. A lot of them will be skilled bricklayers and carpenters, joiners and roofers and what have you. Electricians even. They'll have some skills. Why on earth don't we give them visas for the work? Get them in on the building sites and what have you. Not slave labour, obviously. A proper position. Treat them like human beings instead of chuck them in the flippin' stinky barge in Portland. Oh, well, John Hayes says we should employ our own. Okay. Now, when I was doing my bricklaying, all right, with my Marshalltown trowel, and when I was doing my bricklaying, of course, my MVQ, it's MVQ 2, then the MVQ 3. Anyway, I did the extra bits. When I was doing that, I was doing it at Norwich City College, all right? We had a lovely big warehouse type of warehouse, big indoor building place. And we make mock-ups and stuff, where big chimney breasts, axed, brickwork above the even the fireplaces and above the windows and stuff like that. And we get judged on it. We make these models. Basically all the bricks were donated, and we had sand and lime mix and what have you, so the whole lot could be deconstructed and reconstructed. But when we were doing that, halfway through my course, we had to move out. We went to Bolton Paul's on their site and start building models on there, on a bit of their hard standing, while we were waiting for them to do some renovation work at Norwich City College. Now, a little did we know is that when we returned to Norwich City College to finish off what we were doing, the building class was smaller. Same amount of pupils, but it was smaller, less capacity. So then we had a building boom, and we didn't have the trained people like myself to do those jobs. They weren't available because we hadn't trained them. We need more apprenticeship schemes that are worth having. The problem now is we don't have the people to train the apprentices. This is one of the reasons why we've actually encouraged a lot of people into the United Kingdom while we're freedom of movement, what have you. Because, we were paying more money because we didn't have enough people. Supply and demand. If we had an abundance of people that we'd trained, maybe the wages wouldn't have been ridiculously high. It wasn't unusual for brickies, even back then, to be earning £1,000 a week laying bricks. Good money. Really good money. Well, I'm talking about a good many years ago as well. Sort of mid to early 2000s. This is just madness. This government does not know what they're doing. They really do not know what they're doing. They've buggered everything up, and they're just making it worse. They really are. The sickening thing is, you've already got a ready-made crew out there of people who are probably already trained. Okay, their skills will not be the same as ours, because they've worked with different tools and different methods and different materials because of climate and what have you. Like, for instance, here in France, we don't use Portland cement that much unless you're doing concrete block work. A lot of the time we're using underwear and what have you. It's just basically lime, like the old-fashioned stuff, and a lot of houses here are block work, either clay pot, which is, like the orange clay terracotta pots, or, not plant pots. No, we don't make houses in France with plant pots. Or concrete blocks, and then they'll be insulated up and what have you. Very simple. They look a bit like shoe boxes, if you ask me. But, I don't like them. But this is just crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This isn't going to actually help. It really isn't going to help. We're just going to have such a problem. We've got, it's a 1.3 million shortage of workers in the UK. And they're saying here that they're saying here this allows employers to recruit employers. Remember that. That's okay for those who want to be employed. They're going to be on a pittance. How's that going to help those who, for instance, were whinging and whining because those Polish bricklayers? I employed some. They were the hardest workers I had, and they were good. Yeah, you had to keep an eye on them in the sense that, not because language barrier and stuff like that, just in case they got the wrong end of the stick, literally. Well, the doorway's that narrow or something. But anyway, so this allows employers to recruit staff from abroad, this visa scheme, on salaries as low as £14,880. Now, are you going to travel to the United Kingdom, pay all the visa fees and stuff like that, to earn 14 grand? They're off. Crikey. They're out of their mind. Now, workers in the EU, for argument's sake, if it was that what they were aiming at, workers in the EU already chock-a-block. There is a shortage here as well. Germany, for instance, has said, well, we need people. We'll open our doors again for immigration, and they're bringing more immigration in. Speeding up the old visa schemes. The processing of the visas in the UK, we seem to have a backlog of 5 years. They say it's 18 months, but some of these people, like, from yonks ago. So, oh, God. This is just nuts. So Britain's construction industry has long battled worker shortages, yes, because she's not training them. The thing is also, when I was... we had to cut people that stay with us to the end until the taxman decided that, well, actually we decided, to be fair, because we couldn't afford to pay our VAT bill. That was during the financial crash. Everything just the sites all closed down, which wasn't very helpful at all. And but we had other people we trained up. You train them up. You spend a huge amount of money and time training young apprentices up. They get the qualifications and they bugger off. So you paid all the money out, and there's nothing to retain them. There's always somebody who's willing to pay more than you can afford. There's always is. Or they've got the grass is green on the other side, what have you. Or they just want to change, They've got the qualifications now. We'll knock on their door over there and see if I get a job. But you've put the work in. You can't get it back. You can't get that money back. No. So this is just, because this is something I've always done. I've always worked with tools and what have you. We've just been on the tools, and whether it be woodworking or whether it be masonry work, And then we've got this idiot here, Sir John Hayes, a former minister and ally to the Home Secretary Suella Braverman, told the Daily Telegraph that the government should be training up the British workforce instead. Now, if that was possible, which it's not, like I say, we don't have the people to train them up. It'll take a very long time to do so, because we're talking about muscle memory, we're talking about skills. I mean, a bricklayer is a highly skilled person. Really is. I'd like to see anyone else do it. I'll tell you, that is gruelling work and skilled work. And the idea we're just going to miraculously train people up to do that job is for the birds. It really is for the birds. It'll take a very, very long time. Just nuts. Anyway, you tell me what you reckon, because this plan is just, it's desperate. That's what it is. It's desperate. They've got no real ambition, to be fair, but, apart from feathering their own nest, these Tories. But they don't understand industry. They really do not understand the construction industry. We've got problems regarding, obviously, getting planning permission through. That's not absolute nightmare in the construction industry. Whether you on a development site or even put an extension on the back of somebody's house, it is so strict now. And also, a lot of it doesn't make any blooming sense. Such as the energy flipping part of the flipping building. I know it's changed now, but when we were doing, you said put an energy bulb in. That was our contribution to just comply with the energy part of the building regulation approval. It could be a fluorescent light bulb. It was just stupid. The whole thing was stupid. We should have been putting solar panels on the roof or hot water solar, done something a bit more substantial. Maybe not so much on the extensions, but on all the new builds should all be environmental by now. all the new, there shouldn't be all this stuff being built all over the flipping place, using construction materials that is, it's a ton of CO2 for every ton of concrete, and it's mad. Absolute madness. But then again, that's a Tory party for you. You tell me what you think. Please leave it in the comments down below. If you want to support the channel, you can do that on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and links are down below. We've also got memberships for the channel as well. We will be doing perks for that. I haven't quite got there yet, but I'm getting there. I've got some ideas that we have. So anyway, it's time for me to go, because I need to rest my weary head, because this has just made my mind blow. I've been in the game for too long to understand that they're talking a load of bullshit. Sorry, I just say it as I say it. Ta-ta.